If you want to make $50 a month in dividends using the Robinhood app, then I'm going to show you exactly how to do the math side of things on my phone in just a minute here. But I want to make it clear that this is just for entertainment purposes only. This is not investing advice because I'm just trying to illustrate the math side of things so that you know what it takes to actually make $50 a month. Because it's not like you can just put $100 into the stock market and expect to make that much money passively every single month. It is going to take work on your end, and it is going to take money to even make $50 a month, but I just want to show you guys how to do this on your end. And I also want to make it clear that dividends are never guaranteed, because even if you find a company that's paid out dividends over the last 50 years, it doesn't mean that they're going to continue paying them over the next 50 years. Now, there are ways to look at some information and find out if there's less risk with the company ditching their dividend, but there's still never any guarantee that it's going to continue moving forward or even go up in the future. Now let's just hop on my phone and I'll show you exactly how to do the math yourself. Okay, so once you're inside the Robinhood app, just click the search icon on the bottom here because we are going to search for a specific company that does pay out a dividend. And like I said, this is just for entertainment purposes only. So you can search for any company that pays out a dividend, and I'm just going to show you how to do the math here. But in this case, we are going to look up Pepsi. Their ticker symbol is PEP. So just type that in, PEP. Once we find PepsiCo, just click on them. Current shares are 162.79. Obviously that's moving because the market's open right now. It looks like they're healthily moving in an upward trend, but this is from a very shallow perspective. And they're also paying out a pretty good dividend, and they have a good dividend history as well. So let's just pretend that we're going with Pepsi here. You're going to scroll down until you get into the stats. And right here on the bottom right, you're going to see div yield. This is 2.57. That means it's 2.57% of the current share price as to what you're being paid out in dividends every single year. So in order to do the math here, it's very easy. Because if you want to make $50 a month investing in Pepsi, then it's very easy by just plugging in the dividend yield information, but we are going to need to open up our calculator here. Now with the calculator, if you want $50 a month, you are going to have to multiply that by 12 so that you get a yearly number. 50 times 12 is 600. So we're just going to put in 600 here. And then we are going to have to divide that by the dividend yield that's current right now. And we just saw that it was 2.57. So in a calculator, you're going to have to divide it by 0.0257. And that is going to tell us how much money we're going to need invested in order to make $50 a month. So equal here looks like $23,346. That's how much we're going to need invested today in Pepsi in order to make $50 a month in dividends. Now, if you want to know how many shares you need to buy, all we have to do is find out the current share price. So let's go back into Robinhood and scroll back to the top. Looks like 162. Let's just do 163. So 163, we're going to divide by 163, and boom, you're going to have to buy 143 shares at that current price to make $50 a month in dividends. So if you start small and you just buy 10 shares here, 10 shares there, eventually you are going to get to that point of making $50 a month, but it's never going to be totally accurate because A, the dividend can always change, and B, the stock price is always changing. So hopefully over time, the dividend payout does go up because that means you're making more per share, and you're also hoping that the company's value of shares is also going up as well, because obviously you don't want to just invest in a company only to have the stock price go down over time, even if you're getting paid out a pretty good dividend. Now, I do want to make a point here that the dividend yield on Robinhood isn't always 100% accurate because it looks like they're using trailing dividend information, meaning they might be pulling the last 12 months of dividend payouts. And obviously, if the company has upped their dividend, then that percentage would be higher, or if they've lowered it, then the percentage would be lower. So the way that I can check this is I actually get on the Yahoo Finance app. So let's go over there really quick and I'll show you what I do. Just search for the same company inside Yahoo Finance. So we're going to look up Pepsi, P-E-P, find them here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down until we see show all key statistics. We're going to go right into here. And then we are going to scroll down until we get into the dividend information. And then right here inside the dividends, you can see trailing annual dividend is 2.57. So that looks like that's the information that Robinhood's pulling. But if you look at the forward annual dividend, you can see that it's 2.63. So it's actually a little bit higher because Pepsi happens to be paying out more this year than they were last year, which a lot of companies do that because obviously with inflation, the dividend does tend to go up. So you might want to pay attention to this information, especially for certain companies that maybe have pulled their dividend. Like for instance, if you look up Ford, Ford is just F. Now, if you look up Ford right inside here, we go inside show all key statistics. And then we scroll down into the dividend information. And you can see here that the trailing annual dividend is actually 0%. And the forward is actually 2% because now they are paying out a dividend, whereas over the last year and a half, they haven't been paying out a dividend. So if you just look them up on Robinhood, this could really confuse you. Let's go back to Robinhood and I'll show you. Okay, so now let's just look up Ford inside Robinhood. Just F once again, Ford. Okay, so we now know that they are paying out a dividend currently, but they weren't over the last year and a half. So let's scroll down here into the statistics and you can see here, dividend yield is nothing, but they are paying out a dividend. So because of that trailing information, it could confuse you. So just double check that information from another source and find out what's really going on. Now, if you are new to the Robinhood app, you can get a free stock just for signing up with them. It's going to be valued from about $2.50 all the way to $225. So just for signing up with them, you can get a free share. I have an affiliate link for them in the description below if you have any interest. But thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you guys learned how to do the math yourself to make $50 a month because it's really not that hard, but it's obvious that you are going to have to invest quite a bit of money in order to even make $50 a month.